You mean myself?
Yeah.
No, sir.
You weren't. Okay. But just speaking just in general, what almost killed him?
What almost killed him?
Yeah. Why did he almost die?
Because they held him back in the birth canal long after he was to be born, and it caused this mucus that they have in them.
Right.
It got down into the lungs.
Okay. You have a lot of conversation, a lot of mixed messages being put into a very small unconscious baby at that point.
That's right.
And is he on medication at this point?
I can't keep him on it, doctor.
I see. Well, paranoid...
That's one of his problems.
Yes. Is he hospitalized?
No, he's at home with me.
I see. We find that dealing with a paranoid schizophrenic is troublesome in that they need a support system around them, which my offices do not have when we start working with them, because we are going to be opening up some areas with these people that are very dynamic. And my guess is if he's 30 years old, that puts him back about 54, and that's coming right out of World War II, right out of Vietnam, or right out of Korea, and right out of some of the horrors of the battlefield. I called anything from 1940 to 1955-58 the time slot for the concentration camps and the various horror stories that the world has given us down through the years. He can be helped. This therapy will work with it. It is not instantaneous. It is not a panacea. We're not going to see him Friday afternoon from 2 to 4 and have him walk out cured.
Oh, no, I didn't think that was the way it would work.
But it will be a difficult process going through it. It will require at times 2 therapists to deal with him. There are other people that can deal with him, too, that are more equipped to do it, really, than we are. And I would urge you to call them and to at least talk with them.
I see.
The Anne, that's A-N-N-E.
A-N-N-E.
SIPPI, S-I-P-P-I.
P-P-I.
Clinic.
Clinic, yes.
In Los Angeles.
And where?
They do brilliant work with schizophrenics.
Angeles, huh? And is that the way it's listed in the telephone book, doctor?
It is. If you have trouble finding that, please call me at my offices, and I'll have my secretary give you the number.
I have your number already from the screener.
Okay.
But if you feel that would be the place to go, I certainly will do my best to get him there.
Okay. If you have any problems locating it, please call me, and we'll help you.
I will do that, and thank you. And thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Irene.
Bye.
Thank you, Irene, for being with us there, and we hope that helps. Sandra.
Good evening.
You're on.
To both of you.
Surprise.
It's a joy to speak to you.
You've been waiting there for so long, we decided we'd get
Well, I'm a little old lady in a wheelchair now. But I am just beginning to scratch the surface of the study of reincarnation, and a friend gave me Shirley MacLaine's book, Out on a Limb.
Right.
Fine.
And I was reading it today, and the thought occurred to me that if reincarnation is a fact, and we are going to experience it, why is it that so many people fear the death process? If we have lived these other lives and have died all of these times, why is it that we cannot recall the death process as a pleasurable thing in contrast to a fearful thing? A fearful thing in our lives when we die.
Because most of the time, when it's been experienced in the past, it hasn't been a pleasurable thing. It's been one of pain and fear and terror.
And so that we keep remembering that from our past lives, other than the joy of going on to another plane?
Right. The unconscious mind will always lock on to the fear. It will lock on to the greatest amount of pain and fear. And most people aren't afraid of death. They're afraid of the process which brings death.
I see.
They're afraid of what happens to them, which brings their body to death. Death itself, if you ask them, if you differentiate that with someone, they will tell you that they would actually might even look forward to death and what follows it.
Yes.
It's the process that gets them there.
Uh-huh.
But if you can place yourself for just a moment on a battlefield, having a bayonet run through your middle, and all of the excruciating pain that would cause,
yes,
and you lock onto that as being the last thing you experience as a part of that experience, and you come into this lifetime here and now, and you find yourself embattled in a job or under stress in a family situation, and the ulcer starts to happen in your stomach, then you're recreating that past death.
So it's the process leading up to the death, not the actual experiencing of death. See, I'm in the medical profession, and this question never occurred to me until today when I was reading, I forget which portion of this book I was reading, but the thought of reincarnation is so fascinating. And as I say, I'm just beginning to delve into it. And I must admit that it's a very believable premise.
Well, it's an interesting thing about data.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of data about reincarnation.
You don't know where to start.
There's no data about the
Where do you start to begin to study? The Bodhi tree, of course, is helpful.
Right.
The Bodhi tree is an excellent place.
They're great.
Yes. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thank you very much, Sandra. We'll be back in a moment. I'm Bill Jenkins. It's Open Mind. We also are talking to Robin, who's on the line. Hi, Robin.
Hi there. What I wanted to ask is a variety of questions. First of all...
Limited, because we have a lot of calls.
Okay. When I experimented with LSD a number of years ago, I felt that I had some experiences which seemed to be a further continuation of some nightmares that I had had repeatedly as a child, and I felt like they made sense to me. Have you ever had patients come into you and say that taking LSD had been a trigger of getting them to understand pieces or see things of the past lives?
That was one of the LSD, the very beginning programs in testing.